All right, so for our 10-year anniversary, I had an idea to do 10 travel questions. So we'll sprinkle those out throughout the rest of the day. So the first question is, why do you travel? Or what got you into it? I know it's two questions, but that's the first question.
I've always wanted to travel. I guess I'll go first.
Yes.
I've wanted to travel since I was in high school. I just wanted to see more than what I could see where I lived in the middle of the flattest freaking state ever in Oklahoma. And I knew that there were much cooler places out there to see.
Yeah. So for me, I travel mostly because of her. So my limited scope of traveling was all going to be states-based, which isn't a bad thing. There are a lot of beautiful states, a lot of places you can go. But even for our honeymoon, we went to Mexico because that's what I was familiar with, was what I knew. So never had a bucket list, never had an actual list or goals.
Yeah.
But because of her, she always wanted to on our anniversary. So that's why I travel. That's why we travel, is because it's just a little bit of what's been inside of her all the time.
But you also went to Honduras before you met me.
This is true. Yeah, I did do that. Forgot about that trip.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. So question number 2 is, how do we travel? How do we make it happen?
Okay. So how can we?
Yep.
Okay. So our first anniversary, we had a $1,500 tax return.
Yeah.
And we were like, we want to go on a trip for our anniversary. And so we had to it was actually we almost gamified it. Hey, how can we make this happen within that $1,500? And so we ended up searching really cheap flights. And at first I wanted to go to the Great Smoky Mountains, and it actually ended up being cheaper to go to Banff in Alberta, in Canada. And so we took a cheap flight out there and then found, a cheap place to stay. And like we said earlier, at some point in our trip, we camped for 2 nights to save money. And so we made everything, including groceries, fit within that $1,500. And I think we kind of just took that with us as a way to, because after that first year traveling, we were kind of this is non-negotiable from here on out. We just have to keep doing this. And so we kind of continued in that whole make it fit within this small cost.
Yeah.
And so we found an email list way back when, which we don't use as much anymore, but it was called Scott's Cheap Flights, and they've rebranded. They're called Going now, but they'll email you cheap flight deals. And so the way that we've done it over the years is we have a list of all the places we want to go, and if one of those places comes up as a cheap flight, that's where we're going that year. And so you just kind of have to be really open to flexibility of where you want to go each year. New Zealand was an exception because we were that's our 10-year anniversary. It's been on the bucket list. We're making that happen no matter what. We still ended up finding a really good deal on it.
Yeah, we waited to get the tickets for New Zealand until the right deal came
Until there was a
along.
good deal, yeah.
So and then we were it was a whole morning. Hey, we see it, we found it, we have the dates. Let's go make sure we can get approval for the days off, all that kind of stuff. But
yeah,
we knew we had to jump at it when we had it.
Yeah.
So the other piece of that is we didn't pay for the flights to New Zealand. We didn't pay for most of the rental car fee.
Yeah, this year
and
we had enough.
Didn't pay for part of. So we take what we already do, and we just find a way to utilize that to fund what we do. So
we use our credit cards to pay all of our bills and stuff like that, but we use it as if it's a checking account. So you pay it off right away, but you get the miles and points from spending on that card, and then that builds up over time to be enough for us to travel to things like this.
Yeah.
Definitely be flexible with your dates, but plan out a certain month that you're planning to go. So we look in September, obviously, and our anniversary has to be somewhere in there.
it also helps go in the shoulder seasons.
It's really the perfect time to travel. We picked a good time of year to get married.
Yeah,
So.
it was almost July. Golly, we wouldn't have
That would have
been
been
any
peak
of this.
season everywhere. So
Yeah. What is the one thing you've learned about yourself, and one thing you've learned about your significant other, your spouse, me, and vice versa, in traveling, or about traveling, in regards to travel?
you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. So, the one thing I've learned about myself is just do it. Just do it. You'll have fun. Stretch your comfort zone a little bit, and because I've done that, thanks to her, it's just opened me up to a lot more opportunities, a lot more memories that I'm really, really excited that I got to be a part of. The one thing I've learned about Stephanie is Just be patient. She's gonna take pictures. Don't rush her. Let her take the picture. Let her take the picture. That's why you're here.
I would say something I've learned about myself is, so early on I used to try to plan pretty much every minute of our vacation. Now it's more so that like I pick out the one or two, maybe three big things, and then we kind of fill in the rest of the space as we please. And I don't expect to, go to bed late and get up at 5 a.m. the next day.
She has thought that.
Yeah.
That's a realistic expectation to have.
Yeah, so, and then something I've learned about you, James is really good at creating moments where we like reflect and talk, and like he's such a good conversationalist that we need to leave like space to be able to do that. So for instance, going on hikes is a really great time for us to just have a conversation about whatever. And then things like this, where he started recording these videos last year.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, sorry. 2 years ago, and it's made our vacations better in the sense that we remember more of what happened, and we can just have a lot of fun looking back.
Mm-hmm. And share them with other people. Thanks.
Is there something that you did on one trip that you would take to do going forward, whether it was on this trip or another trip?
eSIM cards. That is the future.
I'm talking about an activity.
Oh, an activity. I think in general is just do something that pushes your comfort zone. So it's more like
bungee jumping.
Yeah, bungee jumping was a good example. Camping was a good example the first time we did that because, again, wildlife.
Yeah.
I think going to a country where you do not know the language, that pushes your comfort zone.
Give yourself an opportunity to have to figure it out,
and you're gonna feel uncomfortable because you're scared you're gonna do it wrong. So just tell yourself it's gonna be okay.
And then the next time you'll feel slightly less uncomfortable because you'll have the proof that you made it work that time before.
Exactly, because every single time we land in a foreign country or somewhere else that we're just not familiar with, it doesn't go smooth. Something doesn't go right, whether it's learning how to drive on the left side of the road, you didn't have the pocket Wi-Fi charged, or you don't have a way to get from A to B, or you can't check in and you can't communicate. All those things can happen, because they will happen.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, it's going to be fine. We're going to figure it out.
Yeah. I would say one thing that we did in Athens that I would do everywhere you have the opportunity, like take a cooking class in the place that you are, especially if it's culturally different from where you live. And just as an experience to meet other people and enjoy the city that you're traveling to, that's something I want to do every time we can.
All right, in 10 years of traveling, what is the biggest adventure you've had?
Go first. I gotta think.
Biggest adventure for sure that I never would have believed I would have done. That's how I'm going to qualify this. Was bungee jumping this year. So
that was pretty huge.
It's pretty insane. Yeah. Camping was already wild, but I grew up camping in tents and stuff like that. So that wasn't. I mean, it's an adventure, but like I never would have said I'll bungee jump. Ever.
You're welcome. Yeah. I think just going to countries that like we don't speak the language and not having pocket Wi-Fi is pretty insane of us. In Iceland, and then in Greece it was like, even though we had pocket Wi-Fi, it was like really hard to look stuff up. Greece, the first place we didn't rent a car.
Yes.
So that's pretty big too. I'm taking like biggest adventure as like we took some risks.
What goes into a great anniversary trip for you? Like, what are the ingredients?
Need to have like a good balance of activity and time to breathe, and activity and time to breathe. And I think that's a really great recipe. If you're talking like physical environment, I need some beautiful surroundings somewhere, whether that is a really beautiful city and like local art and music and stuff like that, especially if like the architecture is like old
I almost don't want to go back because I don't want to ruin the perfect rose memories that I have about it.
Yeah.
From going to an old movie theater and seeing a movie together and being freezing when we walk back, to the first time really feeling the mountains were on the highway, on the Trans-Canada Highway, to also just doing the crazy hikes and camping. Like, so many things that we do now started there. So for me, start with number one. What anniversary trip would you go back and redo and just to do it better? And I would say Iceland, because that was the last legit trip we did that we didn't have travel Wi-Fi or an eSIM, and I think that would be the number one thing I would change to do it again, just to give us a little bit more familiarity quickly. I also know how to change the gas pumps into English now, so I wouldn't have to feel like I was so out of place asking for help, which isn't a bad thing, but I think doing that would change even some of the directions that we went and places that we stayed. There was one of the Airbnbs that we stayed at, and it was just kind of in the middle of nowhere. We didn't really enjoy that one as much, and we were only there for one night, so I think I would have adjusted that too. And also maybe spend more time in Reykjavik.
Yeah, so you stole my answer.
So I went first.
Because that middle Airbnb we stayed in the middle of nowhere, and didn't we have a power outage too or something?
Yeah, Stephanie's hairdryer tripped the breaker all the way off.
I would also add, we went to Colorado Springs the year we went to, so we went to Switzerland in May instead of our big anniversary trip because we had such a good deal that year, but we still wanted to go somewhere for our anniversary, so we went to Colorado Springs. I would probably redo that one too, because we brought Leo with us, and that was really fun, but at the same time, it was really restrictive as to what we could do, how long we could be gone, and stuff like that, so it didn't feel as free as some of our other trips have. Probably redo that one too.
What are some of the funny moments on the trips that we've taken?
Okay, so I know in Canada, we were on a hike and you were walking through a stream and you fell on your butt in the mud and you had mud crusted all over your butt for the rest of the...
Oh, those jeans are ruined.
We had to throw them away.
Yeah. I've been known to fall on a hike a time or two.
Yes. A little over a year ago, he fell while we were hiking near a waterfall. He slipped on a slippery log and injured his knee.
Yep.
Pretty badly, and had to hike the rest of the way down too.
Yep. I would say one of the ones for me was last anniversary's dinner in Buenos Aires, because everything was bad. We just did not do the right order, and that was in the previous video, but it was so funny even just afterwards, just us being okay with being we messed up. I think there are some other small ones that are always funny. We were camping, and I think this was in Vancouver, British Columbia area, and I remember thinking, do bears sleep? And that brought me a lot of peace, because bears do sleep.
Yeah.
So, if you're camping in a bear area, if you keep a clean camping space, and so do your neighbors, know that bears are sleeping too. Also funny was when we found my COVID vaccine card on the street in Athens.
Oh my gosh,
wild.
that was crazy. Yeah, so we happened to walk, I guess, the same direction to the same spot after we realized we had lost his vaccination card, and he had already been trying to call people and figure out how he was going to get back home, because at the time it was required to get back. And I saw it laying on the street, and this was hours later. There's no way. Next.
All right, so what advice would you go back in time and give yourself or give us in year number one?
In year number one, eSIMs and pocket Wi-Fi are the way to go.
I do think, that is a great option. The bit of advice I would go back in time and give us is be okay with going slow. Not only on a hike, for me, don't worry about trying to win the hike. Just go slow, it's fine. Even on vacation itself, I think it's more valuable for us to go slow and not see everything, but really, really enjoy the things that we do see.
Yeah.